Hey, what is up, boys? In today's video, I'll be going over what I believe to be the 5 strongest teams in the DP meta right now. Now, these teams will not be in any particular order. I believe they are all equally strong, but one thing you might notice between all of the teams is that they have a very high DP character. Here, this first team I'm using is base Gogeta and Super Vegito, so a double fusion team. My opponent is Divinity Unleashed, who is one of my boys from my Discord, and a very, very good player, a top 30 player from pre-patch. And as you can see, it's gonna be one of those matches where we just super counter each other all game, and I have to be ready for it. In this patch, for DP, super countering is especially more important because one super counter war that you win could lead to basically killing a whole character. I'm in a pretty tight situation here. He has the huge key advantage over me. He is challenging the super counter war as opposed to vanishing me. He wants to save his key for the Zebra stash after knocking me away. I'm trying to mix up the timing and he's still able to super counter me. Yep, I'm having trouble grasping the timing. Kinda got it now. Knock him away, and I switch to Vegito for the chase change. As I said in my patch video, I believe chase changing is one of the strongest mechanics in DP. Very strong. I get to knock him away, I bring in a new character. Now my Gogeta is in the back regenning 5000 HP. Knocks me away, uses Instant Spark. Instant Spark now gives you a 20% debuff in your defense. And in my patch video, I said I don't know how I feel about that because you're probably not going to engage with someone in sparking. But now that I played against it a bit, I kind of like it. Because it's better than just running away the entire time from sparking. Now I'm incentivized to engage with him. If he does super counter me, I just engage with the super counter war and try to stall out sparking through a super counter war, which is what I usually did anyway. So at least when I do decide to engage with someone in sparking, they're taking 20% more damage now. And then it just leads to me stalling them out as soon as they get a super counter on me. So as you can see, Divinity is playing Gogeta 4, Superhero Gohan, and Hercule. I choose to transform to blue when he has a Superhero Gohan out. It is the safest that way because he is a 4 DP. I'll be doing a ton of damage to him. I want to be able to down him before he goes to Beast, or at least damage him a lot. And because he is a 4 DP, I'm a 10 DP, he will be doing a lot less damage to me. So, doing a lot less damage to me, as I'm on the field, you can see, my switch gauge is at half full. I'm almost able to switch while having taken less damage. Here I am purposefully attacking into his guard, baiting out his sidestep, trying to condition him to stand still and stop sidestepping. How you could bait out a sidestep is you just float to the side. You hold left or right, that will keep tracking on your opponent. If you hold left or right, you will be aligned with your opponent. If you just stand still and they sidestep and you punch, you'll start attacking nothing. So make sure you are holding left or right and timing your attack correctly to catch sidesteps. But I downed his Gogeta 4. Usually in this meta, if your high DP character goes down, you probably lost the match. And Divinity's game plan here is if his Gogeta goes down, his last hope is Beast Gohan. Here he gets the ultimate. This is still very scary for me. Ultimate is capable of squad wiping, and you gain 5000 health. I accidentally de-transformed to base, but I kind of see this as a blessing in disguise because base Vegito has explosive wave and I'm gonna have access to 2. He's very low health. Probably not gonna win this. Okay, he gets the beast. As I said, this could be scary, but luckily I de-transformed for explosive wave. I didn't do that on purpose again, so even if he wins a few engagements, he has 0 skill points, I have 4. I have 2 free explosive waves that he cannot revenge counter. You can see these weird gaps that I put in my combo, and the reason why I do that is to avoid a super counter. Alright, here comes Hercule. I'm just gonna speed through this. You guys don't need to watch me destroy Hercule. Going blue because I really need it against Hercule. Alright. First game goes to me. Take the rematch. Second match. Now there's no excuse. I played a full match. I should have the timing down for the super counter. So, same goes for him. I'm ready for even more super counter wars. It's gonna be one of those games. This step in attack with those follow-ups, it's so strong. It is so strong. Especially if they vanish it, you could just do a smash attack and then punish them for vanishing you. I'm going to charge to a full key gauge. And this is one of the strongest things you could do in DP, is charging your key to a near full key, to a lot, however much you could get, and then switching out. And the reason being is because if you could charge to a lot of key and then switch out and then switch them in on a chase change, you are at a key advantage. If they try to vanish, you'll probably win the vanish war. If they try to super, and then once you win the vanish war, you just knock them back. If they try to super counter your knockbacks, that's just wasting time. And this is especially strong in this meta because if you could get them to super counter war with you while your switch gauge is filling up, that's just time wasted. And that might be good for you because you can just not take any damage and then switch again and then total 10k health regen on your high DP character. So I down his Gogeta 4. Since his Gohan spawns far away from me, I just charge to sparking. Unfortunately, I do lose the timing here, and I just get hit by these super counter hits. But I should still be able to win. Even though I didn't switch on a chase change, just look how much ki I have over him. So he could super counter me if he wants. I have about 3 vanishes over him. Well, now we're tied in ki, but you get the point. Switching out with a lot of ki is very, very strong. Alright, I get to Gogeta Blue. And I downed his Gohan. Same case, let's just speed through Hercule. Hercule does have some uses. Because of this win condition, it doesn't matter if Hercule dies. You might as well switch in Hercule if you have a 10 DP. That way your 10 DP could just regen 5k health. And then just keep switching Hercule in to let your high DP regen their health, and then just let Hercule die. The problem with that could be that you could allow your opponent to stall out and gather skill points, and they'll be able to set up on you. But if you have a high DP, it doesn't really matter what they set up. Just take that 1v1 while you regen all the time. Alright, third match against Divinity. Let's see how it goes. If your opponent is charging ki, you gotta make sure you match that ki charge. Do not just let your opponent charge ki without you charging ki. I really do not recommend you Z-burst dash at them, because they'll be gaining ki. If you Z-burst dash, you'll lose ki. They'll be in the huge ki advantage. If they super counter you right away, which is not difficult to do, especially after a Z-burst dash, there are Qs for them to super counter you after a Z-burst dash. You do not want to do that. At the very most, what you want to do at the very most to approach is match their ki charge and slowly approach with ki blasts, poking them with ki blasts. One of those games where we're just gonna super counter war all game. Luckily, he down smashed me, so he wasn't able to get the chase change. So here I am purposefully putting staggers in my combo. I want to see how he reacts defensively. I want to know if he's the type to mash. I want to know if he's the type to hold perception. I want to know if he's the type to sidestep. Alright, I get to Gogeta Blue here. And what Divinity does here is very smart. He's able to dodge my barrier by just punch vanishing away. I was way too predictable with this. I just kept spamming it, as you can tell. I don't really play Gogeta Blue, let alone just any high DPs really. So I don't have experience of getting read out with this. And this costs me. This basically costs me the game. I have to disengage, it's not worth it. And because I disengage, Divinity makes the smart decision of going into Instant Spark. Now my Vegito is trapped in with his Instant Spark Gogeta, and maybe I should have just continued to engage and just let my Gogeta die, instead of disengaging and allowing Divinity to go into Sparking mode. Now he has the key advantage over me. I have After Image Strike. Remember, they nerfed it, so I can't dodge super counters with After Image Strike. And unfortunately, I do lose the super counter timing, and yeah, just a bunch of mistakes that just compiled upon each other. I had the lead and I lose the lead. Yep, another mistake. I have After Image Strike. I'm greedy with my punches and I punch into his perception. He cancels my After Image Strike and finishes off my Vegito. But I do have Gogeta Blue. I could still come back. 10 DPs are very, very strong. I set up my Zebra stash with a slightly charged Ki Blast. Remember, you gotta charge it for a little longer now to get that little slight knockback effect. Alright, down his Gohan. I could take this 1v1, and then I'll have to face his Hercule. This is still doable, this is still winnable. I instant transmission, try to hit him with a little bit of Cheese Rush Super. He goes into Instant Spark. Luckily, he doesn't vanish that super counter, and he super counters me mid combo and finishes me off. GG's to Divinity. Those were really fun matches. Okay, this next team I'm using is Whis, Superhero Gohan, and Hercule. This is probably one of the craziest teams. It's a very toxic team because of Whis. Whis having auto dodge and regen and just being a very, very strong character it's insane. And if Whis dies, I have Superhero Gohan to go to Beast. And if Whis takes damage, I'll just switch in Hercule and let Whis regen on top of his already 10k health regen skill. And just look at this. This is why I said in my patch notes video, mid DPs are just invalidated. 2 combos. And this Broly is already almost dead. The match barely started and this Broly is dead. He's done. Three combos. The most simple combos. And he's already dead. Setup characters are done. You cannot set up in this meta. Well, you can. You just have to really, really, really run away, or make sure that your super counters are on point. And in this net code, depending on super counters to save you in every single match is very unrealistic. Same situation here. A few combos from Whis just absolutely wipe these mid DP characters. And like I said in my patch notes video, it's not the low DP characters you guys should be worried about. Everyone's so happy that these low DP characters die quickly. It doesn't matter if Roshi or Spopovich dies. They're only 2 DP. That means they could build a team around a high DP with those 2 DPs. If someone has a 5 DP, a team full of mid DPs, they're throwing. Like, I was able to just wipe this guy easily. I probably did a total of 9 combos and finished him. I didn't even need anyone else. I didn't even take 5,000 damage on Whis. Alright, next team. This team I'm using is a mid-match fusing team, which is a very cool thing. It is meta again to do so. I am using Vegeta SS4, GT Goku, and Roshi. The game plan here is just to play my Vegeta to the death. Well, not to the death, or to near death. If he does get caught in a bad combo, you have Explosive Wave to save you. Because he is 8 DP, he can keep up with any of the meta characters. And he does do a lot of damage to any low DP, mid DP. So, yeah, you just save up 4 skill points and then fuse to SS4 Gogeta. So long as you're a little over red health, you'll fuse into a full health SS4 Gogeta, technically granting you 2 high DP characters to play with in the match. As you can see, my opponent was using the same team. Luckily, I downed his Vegeta before he could fuse. Now I have 4 skill points with Vegeta. I have the ability to fuse, but I switched to Roshi just to give myself 5k regen. Was that necessary? No, not really, but I'm doing it to show you guys the strategy behind this, just in case if your Vegeta was low health and you want to ensure that your Gogeta has full health when you fuse into him. And like I said earlier, does not matter if your low DPs die. I could literally be facing up against a Whis with this Roshi. Any damage I do to that Whis with Roshi is a lot more meaningful than whatever damage Whis is doing to me. It does not matter if your low DPs die, but it really matters if your mid DPs die, which is why I keep saying the mid DPs are just completely irrelevant in this meta. You can just see how much damage this 5 DP Goku is taking from my Vegeta. Not to mention that his baseline stats are just not good. So any mid DP character with bad stats to begin with are just absolutely screwed with this new DP disparity thing. Alright, I fuse into Gogeta 4. Again, pretty unnecessary, but I do want to show you guys. I have a full health Gogeta now. And there's just no way my opponent could come back from this. He has a Roshi. He'd have to win like literally 5 times the amount of engagements. Whereas I don't even need to really try. I'm just having fun spamming Ki Blasts now. I can just shut my brain off and win. And that's game. GG. Alright, this next team I'm using is God Toppo, Superhero Gohan, Roshi, and Hercule. Of course, you don't have to use Superhero Gohan, Roshi, Hercule. You could use like even a fusion with God Toppo, and that would be a very, very strong team. God Toppo is like the Raccoon of the high DPs. He's just a stat monster. He is only 8 DP, but he has the stats of like a 10 DP. But because of this disparity thing, this DP disparity thing, he does take a little more damage despite his stats from higher DPs. But again, you can see this is a case of mid DPs just getting completely invalidated by the higher DPs. My opponent is using a 5 DP character. He's trying to transform. This is a third of his team just getting completely destroyed by my high DP character. And although God Goku is 7 DP, my God Toppo is 8 DP, and therefore the DP disparity is still a thing even if we're 1 DP apart. Look, I'm taking almost no damage because of my defense on top of the DP disparity thing. And my opponent just really stood no chance because of this character diff. Like, I am honestly not even trying to vanish or challenge any vanish wars. I don't need to. I take no damage and I do a lot of damage. It doesn't matter if it really doesn't. It's free games. As soon as I see a 4 to 5 DP character on the field, I just feel like I won. Especially if I'm running a high DP myself. Like if you hated the backshot meta in pre-patch, at least it took like maybe like a lot of combos to kill a character. therefore meaning you had a lot of opportunities to super counter. Here, it takes 3 combos. If you don't super counter in those 3 combos, you're done for. His Gohan is already in red health. He used Wild Sense. I used Perception to cancel his Wild Sense. Here's Superhero Gohan. Superhero Gohan is probably the only setup character worth running. Maybe Broly, but Broly is... The cheaper your setup character, the better. And of course, Superhero Gohan is your cheapest setup character. Yep, I just wiped 3 of his mid DP characters easily without any effort with my high DP character. Like I keep saying, high DPs completely invalidate mid DPs. It's okay if they invalidate low DPs because low DPs, you're investing near nothing. So it could still be worth investing into a low DP. It's very worth investing in them still, actually. But like I keep saying, is it worth investing in mid DPs? The only mid DP really worth investing in are probably Android's 1920 because they could stall the game out to help you regen on your high DP. And Superhero Gohan, because Superhero Gohan has the ability to transform to Beast and therefore help you be like a comeback character of sorts in case if your higher DP dies. So in this situation with this team, if my God Toppo does die, I would have Superhero Gohan to help me come back. And I just speed ran through his team. Alright, 5th and last team that I want to show you guys. This is Base Gogeta, Superhero Gohan, Roshi, and Spopo. In this game, you'll see the value of low DP characters. And the value comes in the fact that they are low DP and still do the same damage as mid DPs really. And it doesn't matter if they die. I get to use my low DPs to nitpick when I could bring in my high DP. And my goal here is to charge to a full key gauge with my high DP, switch him out to my lower DP, and then just knock my opponent away and bring back in my high DP with a full key gauge, therefore granting me very safe and free engagements with my high DP. And because I'm getting free engagements, that's free damage, and that's time wasted on my switch gauge, therefore making it very difficult to kill my high DP. As you can see, that's exactly what I do. I have a full key Gogeta in the back. Now I will be trying my best to set up a chase change with my low DPs, and if my low DPs die, it's completely fine to me. I do not care. Whatever damage I do with my low DPs, it's great, especially since my opponent is running 2 high DPs. But this could be bad for me because I have a low DP out on the field and I'm not really doing anything. My opponent was able to gather 2 skill points and transform to Gogeta Blue. And he has a 10 DP, I do not. This could be bad for me. I have to be very careful right now. I could be 100 to 0'd. I don't care if I take damage on my low DPs, but I do care if they get downed. Because if they get downed, I am forced to switch into my base Gogeta, and I'll probably spawn far away from him. And I do not want that. I want to stay close with my opponent. I'm still trying to hunt for that perfect engagement to switch in my Gogeta. Here I'm threatening to charge into Sparking, forcing my opponent to throw Ki Blasts at me, therefore wasting his Ki. Because of that, I was able to put myself in the slight Ki advantage. So if he super counters me here, I should be safe to at least do 1 Vanish. Unfortunately, I was in the slight Ki disadvantage here because I was doing Ki Blast resets. But still worth it, oh well. The damage I just did to his hit was more valuable than whatever damage he just did to my Roshi. Alright, still hunting for that perfect engagement with Spopovich. I got it here, but unfortunately I cannot switch with my Spopovich just yet. And one thing you guys should really practice is what I just did there, is super countering the chase change. If you could do that, you're very good, because we were tied in ki there. I had 2 ki bars, he had 2 ki bars. If I chose to vanish the chase change, he would win the knockback. But because I super countered it and he vanished my super counter, I saved ki, he spent ki, I put myself at the ki advantage, I win, I knocked him away, and then I got a good ki charge out of it. Unfortunately, my plan doesn't work out. Maybe I was a little greedy. This could really backfire on me. I come in with a full ki Gogeta, still very good for me. He combos me. And because I was at a full ki gauge, I get a super counter and I should win this Vanish War. So again, charging to a full ki gauge and then switching off of it is very, very strong. It saved me in this situation. Okay, he goes for a chase change. You can see here, he basically did what I was trying to do. He gets a chase change, I'm at 0 ki, he changes into Hit, who has 2 ki bars, knocks me away, and is able to Z-Burst Dash, gets a free engagement off of it. I charged to a full ki gauge with Spopo earlier and switched off, and you can see how it's paying dividends here. I got a super counter. Because of my full ki gauge, I will win this Vanish War. I finish off his hit. And you can see how impressive Spopo and Roshi still are. They are still very impressive, especially if you play carefully with them and really charge your ki. And half the reason why they're so oppressive still is, it just really doesn't matter if you damage them. It does not matter. Their whole point is just to help you set up a free engagement with your high DP character. And that, if they manage to do that, that is very, very strong. Very strong. Trying to use a mid DP character to set up your high DP character's engagements is just not worth it. Okay, I get to Gogeta Blue. And I am able to finish him here. Nice little super to finish the match. And yeah, those are the 5 teams I believe to be the strongest in this upcoming DP meta. As you can see, you just use either only high DP characters. The only mid DP character that's really worth using is Superhero Gohan and maybe 19 and 20. And if you have space for any lower DP characters, Spopo and Roshi are still your meta picks. Like I said in my patch notes video, Spopo Roshi are still in the meta. It's just that they're there to support your higher DP character that you should be using. The issue with this meta is that it really, really invalidates any mid DP character. As you guys saw, I just completely wiped the floor with them with my high DP character. So I truly don't understand why people are so happy thinking that Spopo, Roshi, Raccoon are no longer in the meta when they still are in the meta. The characters that are really not in the meta anymore are fan favorites. Melee Trunks, Bardock. Who else is a fan favorite? I don't know. Adult Gohan? Adult Gohan is still viable, but is it really worth investing 4 DP into Adult Gohan when you have Superhero Gohan there? I don't know. There's arguments to be said that Superhero Gohan might be pay to win. Like, it's just this meta, in my opinion, although it could be fun. It's dopamine, and it's dopamine to just wipe a whole team with one character, but in my opinion, it is a pretty broken meta. It's a pretty crazy meta right now. But I hope you guys learned something from this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good day, you guys. Go out there and have fun with these teams.